Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. And as a soul-inspiring thought leader, CEO, intuitive executive coach, international best-selling author, speaker, Lara Jaye works with clients worldwide who want to up-level their life holistically while realizing deeper meaning. So welcome to the show, Lara.
Hi, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Pumped to have you on the show. Another person from Florida on the podcast.
That's right.
So we'll dive right in, Lara. The first one I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
And I was thinking about that. Why are our stories from our life a lot of times sad, but then they come out with these amazing messages? But that was me a few years ago. I was very, very sick, but I had this picture perfect life. Wonderful husband, great kids, successful marketing company, fabulous vacations, beautiful home, pillar of the community. But on the inside, there was just a hurricane, a storm. I was struggling with deep depression, major health crisis, end of my 25-year marriage, self-hatred, just on and on and on. And as a, leader in the community, I struggled to find somewhere that I could turn to help navigate this. And I ended up having to create that person, which was myself. And so often as leaders and pillars in the community, we don't have anywhere to turn. And so, I took lemons and made some lemonade out of it.
Yeah, it is interesting how sometimes it's like the worst things in our life end up being like a reflector and turning into like the best things in our life.
It is. That's right.
So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah.
The next one I have for you, and I'm really excited for your answer here as well, considering your track record. What is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Yeah, and again, that was from living life, in my opinion, the wrong way for me anyway, and for a lot of people. And that was putting work, both myself and my husband, first, and not getting the sleep we needed, not taking care of ourselves holistically. So my piece of advice is, we can work, until the cows come home, but if we don't take care of ourselves holistically, mind, body, spirit, emotions, and energy, we need to, not just use our head all the time. We need to really, touch base with our heart and also our intuition, and look at our life in this holistic way. Don't ignore those parts that are screaming. Don't work all the time. Forget you have kids. Don't, and just throw everything into one basket, because you will lose. You'll lose your health. You'll lose your family. And that's my advice. Look at life holistically. And it's meant to play and live and have fun.
Definitely, yeah. And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Yeah, definitely. Listen to your own intuition. So when you're working with somebody in any business capacity or personal capacity, if things are showing up one way, but deep inside, maybe you're feeling a red flag or you're seeing red flags, but you talk yourself out of it. You think, well, but he's saying this or she's saying that. Follow your gut. That is your intuition. That is your guidepost. Follow that no matter what.
It is very interesting how we can I feel like that feeling, like people are more aware of it than they seem, but like maybe a lot of times our talking ourselves out of it is so over empowering.
We do.
Yeah,
right? We talk ourselves out of it all the time because we don't want maybe we want to make that decision and do it and not look at the red flags. We want to ignore it, but our body knows. Our body knows.
Yeah, it really does. It's so
right?
so true. So next one I have for you is, if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
My younger self, and that was even my younger self to this morning. I have to tell myself this all the time. Stop worrying so much. Have more fun and play. Again, life is not just work, work, work. So it's not do all the time. It's don't worry. Get out
And
there.
and that perfectly leads into the next one. So in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
I talk about happiness a lot, and it is following your joy. And the tough part for a lot of people is they don't even know what brings them joy anymore, because they go do the same thing in and out. But it's follow your joy. Find that, whatever that is. Find that. Dig deep and go do it.
And so if we could actually, I'm just curious to dive a little deeper there. Like when people ask me, how do you like do what you love and like turn it into a business? Like for me, because I love podcasting and I run a couple companies that I really enjoy. And for me, it was from just like pure experience. Like your body tells you, like for instance, when I was in school and I was majoring in accounting, my body was like having huge red flags like shoot up
Right.
everywhere. Right. Like it was
I
like,
had that major and I ran. Yes.
yeah. I ended up dropping out and everything. Like it was like it was real. And so like, do you have any other like, and it's fine if not, but I'm just curious. So even I can tell people, like, because when people ask me, I just say, go out, try things, and like you'll realize what it is like when it's there. Like you'll feel it, and you'll feel when it's not there. So besides like experience, do you have any like
I love that. It
shortcuts?
is experience, and it's following again, it's following your gut, following your guide as to, okay, let's try this today. And now the problem is we are so prone to wanting things familiar and to go. And so we go back to the same places. We take the same road to work. We, go to the same restaurants, and we have to break out of that cycle. And that's key in order to find that joy for each of us, is you got to do something. You got to do things a little different. And to wake yourself up, and that's take a country road, drive a different way, go to a new restaurant. I went roller skating Saturday night, which I haven't done in I'm not
Nice.
even sure how many years, and just to try something different. And now I decided, okay, that wasn't really my joy, but it was fun for it was fun for a little while. But it is about trying new things, or things that maybe you used to do that made you happy. And you know what? If it wasn't what it is, just like roller skating is not my thing anymore at my age now. It's okay. Move on to something else.
Yeah. I'll tell you, from living down here in Miami and living like right on South Beach for two
Yeah.
years of it, I see a lot of rollerbladers, and
Yes.
I am like, whoa! Like I haven't done that in years. I think I
Mhm.
would fall over many times. So,
Right. But it wakes up all the different parts of your body and your mind and your head that hasn't you haven't used in a while, and you'll see whether, okay, do I want to continue doing this? Does it make me happy? Our body knows my body said, no, we are not going to go roller skating again. Trust me.
absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
And
Mhm.
the next one I have for you, Laura, is, what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
I struggled with this question. I read all the time. I love so many different books, but I am going to say that it's my own book that I published in 2014, my first of my three. And because it was my story, and I go back and read it, and I learn something new all the time, like, oh, I wrote that, or I used to do that, or it. I learned so much writing the book, reading it, and continually going back and reading it now and talking from it. I still learn from it. And the name of the book is More Than Enough: Discover Your Limitless Potential and Live Your Bravest Dream. And I still want to do that every single day. And the book is my guidepost.
Mm. And what is your favorite quote, and why?
About 15 years ago, I had this quote sitting on my desk. I was still married, kids were little. Life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself, by George Bernard Shaw. And the reason why I had it there is I was very deeply depressed, and I always thought that I had to be better, do something different. I had to find myself. But then I realized there wasn't anything I needed to find. It was about, who do I want to be? What do I want to create today? What kind of fun do I want to bring in my life? What kind of people do I want in my life? It wasn't about beating myself up every day and going and trying to find, the better Lara or better me. It was about, what do I want to add in my life or take out? It's about creating that landscape. And I have this quote. I still have this quote everywhere. It's on my Facebook page. I think it's on my website. It's on my desk. It's everywhere. Just to remind me, I get to create my day, my life every single day by my choices. And you do too.
Yeah, I think that's a really important reminder as well. So thank you so much for sharing that with us and coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Great. LaraJaye.com. It's LaraJaye.com. Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. It was awesome. Thanks again for jumping on.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.